Now, also tonight, yet more bewildering blunders from, yes, the often giggling Vice President Kamala Harris, who wants to let us know she really likes the internet. I mean, really likes it. Take a look.
Context. Well, the internet is an essential part of life in the 21st century. Can't get around it. Can't get around without it.
Biden, Kamala, and Nancy Pelosi. God help us. All right. Now, despite not yet completing any of her other jobs, you know, securing the southern border, the White House is now giving the vice president more responsibilities, now heading up something called an online policy task force, whatever the hell that means. Now, you might be wondering what exactly that task force will do. Well, at this point, it seems to be anybody's guess. Even the White House press secretary doesn't appear to know. Take a look.
On the online policy task force that the vice president's leading, that's getting kicked off today. On a background call last night, we were told that it's going to be different from the Disinformation Governance Board in that it's going to focus on illegal conduct online. But the memo creating it was a little bit broader and mentioned, and I'm quoting from the document, quote, online harassment, abuse, and disinformation campaigns targeting women and LGBTQI plus individuals who are public and political figures. Could you clear up the disinformation charge?
So I would need to talk to her team. I was not on the background call, so that specific language that you're providing to me, I would just have to check in with her.
In other words, I don't know a thing about it either. Here's reaction. Former presidential candidate, Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is with us. All right. I would like America to go back to the Trump policies and secure our border. I would like to go back to the policies that America is energy independent and stop sucking up to Iran, Venezuela, OPEC, and Saudi Arabia. I would like lower taxes, not higher taxes, less bureaucracy, not more bureaucracy. Now, you're a Democrat, Tulsi. Do you disagree with any of my plans? What things I'd like to do?
We should have a conversation about each of those things, Sean. We probably agree on some, disagree on others. But
should we? All right, here's one. Should we enforce the laws at the border? Let's go through them one by one.
Of course.
Okay, so we shouldn't have open borders. We should go back to the Trump policies. You'd be okay with that?
I've been very vocal about that open borders are a threat to our own homeland security. And with open borders, we don't really have a country.
Okay, now we have a 41-year high of inflation and record high gas prices. Now, we can finish the Keystone XL pipeline very quickly, and every day we'll get 900,000 barrels of Canadian oil right into the United States. Would you go forward with that, and would you lift the restrictions that Joe Biden put on ANWR and federal land leases for fracking and oil? Would you join me in that effort?
I would look forward. I'd look forward to a plan that ensures our energy security in a way that serves the interest of the American people and is done so responsibly.
Yeah, you're kind of ducking a little bit. I'm asking very specifically.
Not at all.
Keystone Pipeline, you're in favor of?
Whether it's the Keystone Pipeline or other resources that we have available here in our country,
okay, you would support opening
energy
ANWR?
Security and done so in a way that's responsible and not contaminating water as some of the fracking has done in certain parts of the country.
Would you remove the restrictions and regulations that Joe Biden put on the energy sector? And that means allowing more leases to be given to oil and gas companies on federal lands. That would finish the Keystone XL pipeline, reopen ANWR, and allow these companies to do what they do best, and that's produce the lifeblood of the world's economy. Would you support me in that effort?
I support you and agree with you in energy security. I don't know specifically chapter and verse all the regulations and restrictions that Joe Biden has put in place, but I can say broadly he has put restrictions in place that have inhibited our ability to be able to provide the energy that the American people need, especially during this critical time.
All right, let me ask you this, because Joe is now apparently negotiating a new deal with Iran. He sent emissaries, according to reports, to Venezuela. He's going to meet with the nation he called the pariah nation and the crown prince that he accused of being responsible for the death of Khashoggi. Wouldn't it be better for our national security, for job creation, to help reduce the price at the pump and help reduce inflation if we again became energy independent and instead of artificially reducing the world's supply of oil, increasing the supply of oil, wouldn't that drive down prices? And wouldn't that also help drive down inflation?
It would.
So you should elect me president. I should run. So, but your party. All right, here's the main question. Now, that's what I was trying to get to. But your party refuses to look at the damage they've done and shift course. Why?
That's a great question, and it's a question for Joe Biden, for Kamala Harris, and for the leaders of the Democratic Party. You and I have had many conversations about how the leadership of this party is unfortunately taking our country in the wrong direction. And this latest initiative of this online policy task force is just yet another example of their self-serving ambitions. The American people need to stand guard because they are determined to undermine our freedom of speech, and we cannot allow them to do that because that will bring true darkness to our democracy.
You know, we're getting pretty dark right now. People, poor, middle class, people on fixed incomes, they're dying out there. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.